Alright, good afternoon. This is December 5th, 2024, and it's a beautiful afternoon. This is my home. This is one of my solar power systems. This is my main solar power system over here. When I first built it in 2019, I bought used batteries to power it, and the first set of used batteries lasted about 2 years, and then took a dump. Went a couple more years, I guess a little bit longer with the second set, and they were defective like right away. So I treated myself to this Renogy set 100 amp hour batteries. Okay, series to make 24 volts, series to make 24 volts, series to make 24 volts, all of them gathered together in parallel through the buses. They're charged from the solar panels you saw out there through these charge controllers, circuit breakers, into the bus. The bus also powers the inverter. So Renogy has given me a really big hassle with these batteries, and I'll show you that in part 2. But for part 1, I just wanted to show you how they were installed. This is my solar shed. It's lightly ventilated on the roof here, or on the eaves, metal roof. All this thermal mass of water, the Powerade bottles are usually on top of those batteries to keep a little bit of thermal mass on top of them. Last year, our lowest temperature was 8 degrees for a couple days. The waters never really froze. There was enough heat from the inverter, I guess, and the charge controllers to keep it warm in there. And during the summer, it's pretty much shaded. This is all white. Had a high temperature of like 99 degrees. I opened that several times when it was really hot, and there was no problem with heat. So these are the 250 watt solar panels that I bought a while back. 2 banks. The first 4 here go into the one charge controller, the second 4 go into the second charge controller, and then everything goes into that bus. So after being asked for a diagram and a whole bunch of questions, which I will show you in part 2, I've been asked to take all these batteries out and test, or charge them individually, then test them, which will take a long time. But I want to document this because I am not happy with the way I've been talked to by Renogy, specifically a guy named Paul in the technical department. I'd love to know his last name, and I'm going to try to find that out later. So anyway, I got to take those all out. Luckily I have 2 of the used batteries that made it through last cycle, and I'm going to hook them up. Of course 2 is not 6, so I'm going to have to go on gray mode, which means using low power, and do my 2-day testing process with Renogy, which I will document in part 2 as well. So this is what powers my whole home, and I depend on it. And the batteries have lasted just shy of 2 years, and all of a sudden they decide to take a big old dump. So there have been less than a half a dozen of power outages in those 2 years. I've got them all documented. Power outage means that inverter will shut down at 21 volts, 10.5 volts per battery, and then start up again once it goes over 24 volts. So batteries have never been discharged past 10.5 volts per battery. Alright, part 2 will be next. Thank you for listening.